Dear friends, in this problem series on C programming, today we will talk about the problem number 2. So here is a piece of code that I have written where there are three integer variables A, B and C, to which I have assigned a value of 1 to the variables B and C. And we have a set of expressions here. The most important of that for this particular problem is the size of operation, and in this we are passing an argument or another expression which is c equals to plus b plus 1. So we need to identify based on our analysis of the code, okay, what should be the value of a and b and c. You can also pause this particular video if you think that you want to analyze it, and it's always a good idea to analyze the code, come up with a solid analysis, and based on your understanding you should try to run the code. Never run the code before analyzing it, because if you do that you will be biased by what you see on the screen and your analysis will not be complete or appropriate. So best is to analyze the code seriously, think hard based on the code written, and then come out with what could be the answers for these expressions, and then validate whether your understanding is correct or not. This is a true way of learning a programming in any programming language, right? So coming to this particular code, let's try to look further into this. Okay, so if you see this particular code, what we are doing here is we are trying to do a plus plus on a b, as you see, right? If you do a plus plus on a b, the original value b is 1, so it becomes 2, right? Similarly, when you are adding 2 and b is basically we are doing a pre-increment operator, right? So it becomes 2 plus 1, 3. So the value of c can become 3. Now when you're doing a size of, we are doing a size of on an expression, and then the result of this expression, which is c, is an integer, right? So we are storing the result in an integer, so it's finally an integer. So the size of an integer generally is a 4 byte in our environments, right? So when you try to do a print operations on each one of these, people might think they will get the value of a equals to 4, and then b equals to 2, and then c equals to, say, the value of 3. Now this is one standard way of solving expression is what I am explaining. See, this looks reasonably okay in the first cut, but we have to understand much more thing what's going on behind the scenes, and C is a language which is full of actions behind the scenes. Let me run this code in our lab machine, and then I will try to explain why the answers are not what we see on the screen. Okay, so let's go into the lab, and then we will do the runtime analysis. Okay, so my program at this point of time is program number 2 or problem number 2. As you can see, I have coded it here with the data that we have right now. Okay, so we will simply compile this code and then we'll run the code. So the output that you see is a equals to 4, b equals to 1, and c equals to 1. Now this is very different than what you saw as 4, 2 and 3 actually. Okay, let's try to analyze what went wrong in our analysis itself. Okay, yeah, so now let's try to comment out things here and try to understand. Okay, so I'm just giving some space here to understand and write our analysis for the above line. Okay, first and foremost thing we have to understand here is when you think of size of. Okay, so size of is a very specific operator in C programming language, right? And its size of is a compile time operator. That's a easy way to remember. Remember, it's a compile time operator, which means that only during compilation the operator is effective, and then it is trying to deduce the requirement of the expression. When you say size of, what do you really want in your programming, right? So generally when you look into size of, we are interested in to get the data about the memory allocation, the size requirement for that. Generally we use it extensively in lot of dynamic programming environments where we create lots of say lots of structures, linked list, arrays, trees, pointers. Many times in the runtime, we just don't know the size. So we just want to know the size of dynamic memory allocations like malloc, calloc, realloc, right? And so on and so forth in so many areas. So sizeof is a mandatory parcel to calculate the sizeof only during compile time. Okay. So when you talk about sizeof during compile time, you just need to understand, okay, compile time, the compiler will try to evaluate this expression, and the goal of that evaluation is to just deduce the memory requirement or the value or the size of for what? Because we are working on a expression and trying to store the data of that expression into another variable, which is an integer variable. If you see the variable c, it is a integer data type, right? So we are, whatever it is, we are storing the data back into an integer variable, right? So ultimately, when you look into this code, when you look into this line of code, this line of code basically reduces to a very simple line during runtime. I repeat, this gets reduced to a very simple line during runtime because this entire thing will be replaced during compile time by its value, because compiler has done the job. Compiler said, okay, c is an integer, you can store whatever integer that you would have wanted. So I am going to say the size of this expression is nothing but an integer value, which is nothing but a size of integer, and it's a 4, right? So size of integer becomes 4 here, and that is during the compile time. So essentially, when you see this entire thing gets reduced to a variable declaration and followed by a equal to 4. And when you have a equal to 4, and when you're trying to do a printf a, b, c, so obviously a becomes 4, as you know, and then the b and c never change during runtime. Okay, so runtime they don't change. During compile time, compiler might have evaluated it for whatever reasons, but runtime the value are exactly as it is, the way they were originally initialized. Okay, so and that's the reason when you run the code, you are going to get the value of 4 here, and then you are going to get the value as it is, and that's where your answer is. Okay, so I think I have tried my best to give you a detail about what the values of this particular things are. Okay, so if you have any further query, you can join my Telegram group. We will have discussions about these videos and some queries, technical queries that you have, which we will try to answer, as well as there are many good programmers in that group, so they will also help pitch in to answer these kind of queries. Thank you very much. See you for another video in another problem.